What are the problems business SMB face in setting up software in their business?
Right. So software is an important part of setting up the business systems. While setting up a business system, there are three main pillars that have to be done right. One is a skilled and knowledgeable team. The second thing is a well-defined processes, a well-defined and documented set of steps, and the third is the technology of the software to monitor the process and monitor the activities and get the reports. In setting up the software, the things that are holding business owners back is a few things. Like, first of all, is their lack of understanding of the software. As you know, they often think of software as a expense rather than a investment. Then they just people just business owners, because they don't have a they don't come from a software background, they don't know what is the right kind of software that is applicable for them. And it's also because the software world has evolved. It has become very big over the last 10 years. For example, about 10 years ago, there were, let's say in the sales automation category, there were maybe 500 companies. But today, in the sales automation category, there are more than 5,000 companies. So there are so many options available, because of which the business owner they find it hard to take a decision, and it leads to the problem of having too many options, because of which there is a confusion and they are not able to take the right decision, because of which they are not able to get the right results.
Okay, so can you give us some examples of business systems?
Sure. So there are seven, when we think of business systems, so think of, there are seven main functions in any business, right? They are marketing, sales, operations, HR, legal, accounting, and management. And you can have systems for each and every function in the business. You can have even systems for your own life. And in fact, one thing I often share with business owners and the people I talk with is that if you look at any area of your life where things are going well, it's because you have a system in place. So for example, let's say I had some health problems a couple of years ago, and then since then I have put in a system in place to take a daily walk for 1 hour a day and to control my diet. And so that has become a system in place for me, which has helped me improve my health. And similarly, if you think of any area of your life, whether it's health or money or finances or business, so the good things in our life often come because there's a system in place, right? So examples of business systems are, for example, if we take the example of marketing. In marketing, the goal of marketing is to generate leads. So if you have a system for generating leads, for example, my marketing system is that I will work on marketing. I will work on creating content for my marketing every Friday, the first half of every Friday, and that is my system. That helps me produce the consistent and predictable output and results in our marketing activities.
So what are the benefits of implementing these systems in the business?
Yeah, so a system in a business helps to get consistent and repeatable activities and predictable results. So what it means is that consistent and repeatable means that whoever person is doing it, whether it's Ravi or Michael, whoever is doing it, they will do it in a similar way, almost the same way. Okay, and predictable results means once you do the steps of the system, you are going to get the results in a predictable basis because it has been validated, right? So a lot of the times businesses they end up depending on firstly, small businesses, they depend very, very heavily on the business owner. Initially it might be fun for the business owner to do everything in the business, but very soon it becomes very tiresome, and it almost feels like it becomes, the business owner becomes trapped in the business, which was not the objective that the business owner started out with. The business being completely dependent on the business owner is not a good thing. And the way to get out of that is to have systems in place where the business owner establishes the system, defines the processes, skills the team, and then hands over those to the team to implement. And the team is able to do things in almost as good a way as the business owner himself. Another thing that happens often with the businesses is that uh, the business is going on, and the business owner finds is somebody who is a rockstar employee. So they get a good employee, a rockstar employee, and the rockstar employee improvises and is able to do things very well. But this may yield good short term results, but in the long term, have depending a lot on the rockstar employee is not good, because this is not consistent and repeatable, because not every team member in your organization will be a rockstar employee, and will be that motivated. And what happens when that rockstar employee leaves? That's when you realize that you were overly dependent on a certain team member, and when that team member leaves, the business gets into trouble. So the objective of setting up system is to be able to set up steps in the business to get consistent and repeatable activity, and with those activities get the predictable results.
So if I ask you about what are the key areas where business owner feels the need of implementing these kind of softwares?
Right. So the systems have to be implemented in every main function of the business. And as we discussed before, there are 7 key functions in any business, which are the marketing, sales, operations, HR, accounting, legal, and management. And you can implement systems and softwares in every function of the business. So there are software systems for marketing, there are software systems for that can be applied to sales, that there are software systems that can be applied to operations and to HR and so on.
Okay. So in all these of things, what are the top 3 areas of business owner focus to build the systems?
So the top 3 things that a business owner should do to implement the systems is: number 1, to invest into their team, to build to hire and retain capable and skilled and knowledgeable team members, because the team is the foundation of the business and the foundation of the activities that the business undertakes. The second is to define the processes in every core function and document those processes, and then maybe create video recordings of the business owner and doing those activities themselves, and in that way documenting it. The third is to set up ways to track the activities and to track the results of each and every function. For example, in marketing, let's say, to track what are the marketing activities done, what are, let's say you are into posting YouTube videos, or if you are into social media posts, or you are into Google ads, what are those activities that you're doing, and what are the results you're getting. So to track on a regular basis and learn from those activities and results, learn from that data to improve the process.
So what is the role of software in setting up business systems?
Right. So as we saw earlier, there are 3 main pillars of setting up a system in business or in life. The first is the team being skilled and knowledgeable. The second is the well-defined and documented processes, which are the steps of doing something. And the third is the technology or the software to monitor those activities and the results. And in the olden days, when olden days mean, let's say 50 years ago, 100 years ago, people used to have systems even then, but we didn't have the software or the digital tools. So there the tracking used to be done on pen and paper. But now with the advent of digital technologies, and all we are living in a digital world, it's much more efficient and productive to track the activities, and to share the information with the team members, and to get reports using digital tools, which is the softwares.